What is up? Um, Welcome to my very first Facebook Live show. I'm going to try to do one of these every week, real estate related. This week, we're going to cover the 2022 real estate forecast, but I plan on bringing you guys some different people in the industry, out of the industry, some real estate tips and some different agents across the country. There's a lot of people leaving California right now. So one of my goals is to talk to a lot of my friends that I have across the country, um, that are agents, and talk about their markets and what are some of the things that people potentially coming from California need to think about, before they go there or get an idea what it's like there. I talk to a lot of sellers um, all the time that are considering leaving California, but they're still trying to decide where they are going to go. So hopefully, some of those they'll help them find some answers from that and some clarity. But what I wanted to talk about is the forecast for 2022. And, I've got a lot of people talking about waiting on the sidelines, waiting for this whole crazy housing market that we have to crash. They're waiting for something to go down so that they can jump into the market. And the sad thing is I've had people telling me this for the last 3, 4, 5 years, even right since 2008. Around 2018, everybody's saying it's 10 years. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. Um, and here we are 4 years later, and or 3 years later, and it's not crashed. So those people missed out on a large opportunity to be in this market, receive some of these gains. So we're going to talk about what's expected to happen this year, and then beyond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to show you a PDF that we created that will hopefully share some lights on what it is that I'm talking about, which is this guy right here. So in 2008, one of the big things that caused the recession was, or the housing crash, right, was low down payments. They were just letting you get in with very minimal down, a lot of down payment assisted programs. We had flexible mortgage rates that were, arms where they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, interest only, and then the payment would jump up tremendously. These people couldn't afford it, and there was oversupply. So to put that into reference, and I think a lot of people kind of don't understand that what's driving this market is a supply and demand issue. We've got low interest rates, historically low interest rates still, and we've got extremely low inventory. So in early 2021, last year, at the beginning of the year, we had just over a million homes for sale in the United States. In July of 2007, we had 4 million homes available for sale. Um, After 2007, one of the things that's led to this low uh, inventory is the builders, new construction just fell off the face of the earth. Nobody was building, and over the last decade, we've built the least amount of homes we have in the last 50 years. So that is a huge reason why we have some of this low interest rate or low inventory. Another part of it is as that started to creep in, there's a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines because of the low inventory. They've got nowhere to go. If they had a house to sell, they're not selling because there's not enough things for them to choose from. And so it's just a snowball effect. One of the things that's different in this market is the average down payment is almost 16%, um, which is crazy because that's including the 3.5% first time home buyers. Conventional, you don't have to put 20% down. But what this is showing is 15.9% is the average down payment on homes being purchased right now. And that means that these people are coming into these houses with substantial equity already, right? In 2020, the national homeowner equity was $1.5 trillion. And I read a stat where of all the homes in the United States, almost 50% of them, I think it's around 45% of all homes in the United States are paid in full. There is no mortgage on these homes. Of the ones that actually do have a mortgage, uh, right around the 70% mark have over 20% equity. So there's a lot of people that have been waiting for the moratorium to be lifted. And then we'd have this big influx of foreclosures, which would increase the um, the inventory levels and give some opportunities, potentially bringing prices down. But that's not been the case. And if you look right here, this is different these last 10 years because the mortgage lending um, requirements have not eased up. They've still kept tight lending restrictions, which pre 2007, if you had a pulse, you could get a loan. That's not the case right now. So just for reference, March of 2008, there was 234,000 filings for foreclosure. In 2020, February 2020, you had 48,000 um, filings for foreclosure. And at the time, that was a 15-year low. And in March of 2021, we had 11,880 filings for foreclosure. So those numbers are extremely low. That March could have been some of that the moratorium on the foreclosing portion of it. But nevertheless, it's still really low, and we don't foresee a big influx. Banks don't want the houses back. They learned in 2007 that having the homes vacant and going through that process is costly. If they can avoid it, they will. And the ones that they can't, they'll take action, and we will have some foreclosures. But most of the people that are in forbearance um, are they have equity, right? So this last year, we saw in some places, 15 to 25% increase in your equity of your home across the nation. So that means that those people, instead of foreclosing, they'll be able to sell the home prior to foreclosing, which would help, bring some homes to the market, but you're not going to affect the market negatively on the price. Um, so that's some things to think about right there. And you can see the fixed mortgage rates, conventional mortgage rates increased from pre-pandemic. There was 49% of the mortgages were conventional, and now we've got 53% during the pandemic. And those people are locked into very low rates for 30-year fixed rates. So, that's another thing. A lot of these homeowners have these low rates. So what we're going to see into 2022 is the Fed has actually said that they're going to start to raise rates. They have to. We've got inflation, and they've got to slow this thing down. Um, and so one of the ways that they're going to do that is to increase the interest rates. So they said they were going to do it, but it's going to be slow. It's going to tick up throughout this year. And what they're predicting is after the buying season, right? You're going to start to see, towards the end of the year, the rates will get up to, they said they're not going to go over 4, but it'll be high 3s, which is still a great rate. But at the prices that we're at, we should see a bit of a slowing, a deceleration, maybe even a little bit of a dip in the pricing. But one of the things, if you're thinking about buying, is to think about this. How much are those prices going to dip? Because 1 percentage point in the mortgage rate on a $500,000 house uh, is approximately $40,000 to $50,000 in equity if it goes down 20%, right? So are we going to see a 20% dip in the market? That's a lot. Historically, that is a lot. And because this is a healthy market, we're probably not going to see that. So what I would say is that if you're thinking about buying, that you would consider not waiting until the market shifts. Take advantage of these low rates now. I don't know how to stop the screen share, but maybe like that. Take advantage of the market now with these low interest rates before they start to go up. And if you are in the market right now, one to think about is, I've had some people say that they want to wait till later in the year, spring, summer, when the market is hot and everybody's, there's more things to choose from, but there's also more buyers at that time. you're going to probably have a little bit of increase in interest rates on top of everything else. So I would suggest that if you're on the fence and you are wanting to buy, that you act sooner rather than later. And because I'm saying that, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that might be thinking about this. And typically, when you see an increase in interest rates projected, then you'll see as it starts to go up, you'll see more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Frenzy, right? Because everybody wants to get in before those interest rates go up. So it'll actually heat the market up even more than it already is. So I don't think you guys got to see my screen. Could you guys see the screen? Thanks, Anthony. Anthony, can you see the screen? My screen share right now? Oh, it'd suck if you couldn't. But anyways, yeah, we might see a frenzy of activity because yeah, dang it. Um, we might see a frenzy of buyer activity because of that. So I hope you guys found this informative. I've got to work on a couple of things, which is the screen share because that did not work, obviously. But anyways, I appreciate it. We'll be back next week. I'm going to have my broker of Mainstreet. We're going to get his take on hit the market and the forecast. And we're going to talk a little bit about Mainstreet ourselves and as a brokerage. So we will see you next week. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you soon.